I have with my brother-in-law every day. My name is Mukta. When I got married, I was 18 years old. My husband's name is Shubho. We lived in the village. Shubho and I studied together, and that's how our relationship started. I loved Shubho so much, and still do, that I couldn't bear not seeing his face or hearing his voice. At his single request, I held his hand and left my home. Now, about my in-laws' house there were only my brother-in-law and my husband Shubho. My father-in-law and mother-in-law had died 10 years earlier. My father-in-law had been in a good position financially. He had bought a lot of land and property. Alongside farming, life went well, and he used to cover my husband's expenses too. After marriage, when we moved into my in-laws' house, my younger brother-in-law was very happy to see me, and why wouldn't he be? I wasn't exactly lacking in beauty. Shubho and I had met in a college in Dhaka. Anyway, after marriage Shubho loved me very much, and so did my brother-in-law in his own way. I loved Shubho more than my own life. I never let Shubho go far from me, and for that he used to call me crazy. Shubho loved me more than his own life. Almost every night we had, and I don't remember ever asking him for. I just wanted to be by his side, and that was my happiness. Shubho would shower me with affection. I would just close my eyes and say nothing. Sometimes I would look into his eyes and suddenly smile, and Shubho would press my eyes closed with his hands. After 5 months, I realized I was pregnant. I told Shubho, and he was overjoyed, but perhaps telling him was a mistake because that night he me 7 times. I asked him, "Why so much today?" And he said, "Because I'm so happy." I said, "So you give me so much pain because of that?" He just smiled. At that time my family still hadn't accepted our relationship. After my husband Shubho passed away, I was completely shattered. I didn't speak to anyone and just sat alone. My only reason for living was Mithila, my daughter. A month after his death, my mother came and wanted to take me to our home, but I insisted I would not leave my husband's place. My mother told me I was still young, so I should think about my future. But I loved my husband so much that I didn't think about these things at all. 6 months later, I started to feel lonely, and began to wonder if I had made a mistake, if I should have listened to my parents. I had now realized the need for a man in my life, but there was nothing to do. My heart felt empty all the time. Time passed, but life became unbearable. I could no longer comfort my mind. I now understood the role of a man in a woman's life. It was now monsoon season. It had been raining continuously for 3-4 days. I felt the absence of a man even more now. Honestly, I no longer missed my husband that much now. I only thought of having a man who could hold me in his strong arms and me. From the evening there was no electricity in the house. Now it was only me and my brother-in-law. Around PM, it was pouring rain with occasional thunder. I told my brother-in-law, "Shanto, you take care of yourself." Then I said, "Shanto, why don't you sleep in our room tonight?" He agreed. I slept on the bed, and I gave him a pillow on the sofa. Around 11 or 12 at night, there was a loud thunderclap. It seemed very close. I jumped up and shouted, "Shanto, Shanto." He asked what happened, and I said I was scared. I took Mithila and went to his side. Shanto was young, and since I was his sister-in-law, bad thoughts didn't cross his mind. Then I told Shanto to come and sleep on the bed with us, me on one side, my daughter in the middle. Around AM, the rain was still pouring. I woke up and found Shanto's hand over me. I thought maybe he was scared too, but then I noticed his hand was trembling. I was wearing a top and pajama, with no bra or panties underneath. A sudden thunder made me jump toward him, and I realized something was stuck between my ears gap. I was lying facing the opposite direction from him. Soon I realized it was his against my. I didn't move. An unknown pull kept me still. After 2-3 minutes, I noticed Shanto moving his. I forgot everything and known pleasure filled my whole body. This went on for another 10 minutes, and I didn't know what to do. Meanwhile, Shanto kept rubbing his over my pajama. My pajama was a bit loose, so the tip of his was slightly going into my over the pajama. My was wet, soaking the lower part of my pajama. After much thought, I reached behind and my hand touched Shanto's. He wasn't wearing a lungi. I quickly pulled my hand away. Then I untied my pajama, pulled it down, and bent my legs to make it easier for his to enter. As soon as the pajama came down, his went into my. I out loud but said nothing. My brother-in-law stayed still for about 30 seconds. The tip of Shanto's was just at the mouth of my. I slowly pressed my against his. Then my brother-in-law pushed from behind and his went inside my. After so long without a man, I forgot everything. My brother-in-law started to me from behind. I had never felt such pleasure in my life. It went on for a while. From behind, Shanto kept me, and I had one hand on my and the other hand. Shanto only me. Until now, he hadn't even touched my. After 5 minutes, I started to feel restless. It seemed I wasn't getting the real pleasure of. My pajama was still open down to my knees. Then I lifted my top over my, and my brother-in-law kept me. I moved forward a little, and with a sound, Shanto slipped out of my. I realized both his and my were completely wet. Shanto said nothing. I turned toward him. There was still no electricity. As soon as I turned, I hugged him and my pressed against his body. Without delay, he hugged me back. Without saying much, I said, "Give me, make me crazy today." Without delay, Shanto climbed on top of me. I immediately spread my legs. He
lay between my legs, his asterisk pressed against both sides of my asterisk. On top of me, he held my asterisk with both hands and started asterisking the middle. I just held him tight. After 2-3 minutes, he bent my legs up to my chest. I reached behind, placed his big asterisk at the mouth of my asterisk, and said, "Start." Immediately I asterisked out loud and said, "Slowly." Shanto kept asterisking me, gradually increasing the speed of his asterisk. The rain was still pouring, so without fear I started making sounds. After a few minutes, my brother-in-law said, "Babhai, make some noise." I kept making sounds like and while he asterisk-ed me. A few minutes later, he said, "I'm going to finish. Where should I put it?" I said, "Inside." Then he pushed me down again. I immediately spread my legs. Before he lay fully on me, he placed his asterisk between my asterisk and lay down on top of me. I held him with my legs, and he started asterisking me with all his strength. I just kept making sounds. Finally, my brother-in-law released everything from his asterisk into my asterisk. After that, it continued. We lived together without marriage, and now we do it every day. Our brother-in-law, sister-in-law household has grown. We now have sons